Is inflation silently eating your savings? If you had $100 in early 2022, it now buys what only about $86 bought back then. You feel it, I feel it, we all feel it. Housing costs keep rising, rent keeps increasing, and the price of essentials feels unpredictable. So, how do you preserve that money when inflation is on the rise and those convenient high yield savings accounts aren't exactly an option for you? In this video, we'll build a step-by-step halal savings plan to help preserve your purchasing power without relying on riba. Let's first be clear about the problem. As of this September, overall prices are up 3% compared to last year. This means that if your cash remains idle, its value is decreasing by that same percentage. This pressure creates a specific challenge for Muslims. You see the ads for accounts offering 4 or 5% annually. It seems like the perfect solution. But those earnings are riba, or interest. And earning or paying riba is strictly forbidden. Halal returns must come from real economic activity, like trading or leasing. Interest just pays you for lending money as money. This can leave Muslims feeling stuck. You want to preserve your savings, but you can't compromise your principles. The good news, you don't have to. You just need a different system. A successful halal savings plan is built on 3 simple pillars. First, preserve your money with permissible returns, not guaranteed interest. Second, you want to automate your savings. And third, demand transparency. Know how your returns are being made. We call this the 3-tier halal savings stack. You can set this up by creating 3 simple savings buckets. First is tier A, your immediate spending account. The purpose here is simple. Hold about 1 month of your absolute must-pay bills. Think housing, utilities, groceries, and any minimum debt payments that you might have. This ensures you avoid costly overdraft fees and eliminates the stress of wondering if you have enough to cover essential bills for the month. Something to keep in mind about this bucket is that it is transactional. You are not seeking a return here. You are seeking preservation and liquidity. Next, you build tier B, your emergency buffer. This is your sleep at night money. The goal is to save 1 to 3 months of your essential expenses for surprises, like a car repair or an unexpected layoff. Given the current climate right now, this is probably prudent behavior. The action here is automation. You want to set up a recurring transfer from your paycheck to this account. Begin at first with whatever you can manage and increase the amount little by little over time if you're able to. The beauty of this recurring deposit, it's like it never existed. How does the saying go? Out of sight, out of mind? If you never saw it in the first place, you're never tempted to spend it. And it can actually do what it's supposed to, build your buffer. Now, for the halal option. Since this money might sit for a while, you could place it in a Shariah-compliant savings option. The goal is to earn permissible asset-backed returns, not interest. These returns must be variable and not guaranteed, which is consistent with Sharia principles. Finally, once you've finished funding tier A and tier B, you can turn your attention to the last of the 3 buckets, what we like to call tier C, or your near-term goals. This is for any savings goal you have in the next 6 to 24 months. The purpose is to separate this money so you don't accidentally spend it. Label the accounts clearly so you can remind yourself what you're working towards. And just like tier B, the halal option here is to use a returns-based, Sharia-compliant solution. This lets your savings work for you in a halal way as time goes by. One important tip to keep in mind is that the nearer your goal date, the more you should prioritize Sharia-compliant capital preservation. So that's the system. Tier A for immediate needs, Tier B for your buffer, and Tier C for your goals. How do you start this today? It's a 5-step process. Step 1, find your 30-day number. Add up only your essential monthly bills, so your housing, your food, your utilities, and let's say that comes out to $3,000 for the sake of this example. That's your number. Step 2, create and fill tier A. You want to label your first account tier A immediate and move that $3,000 that you've saved up into it. If you don't have it all, it's okay. Start with 1 week's worth and slowly build up to it. Step 3, we're moving on to tier B. Let's label that second account Tier B so that there's no confusion. You want to set up an automatic transfer for every payday. Your goal here is $3,000 to $9,000 if we're using the $3,000 from the previous step as an example. Step 4, you want to fund Tier C. Label your third account Tier C and whatever goal you're working towards right now. The goal here is to automate your contributions here as well. Moving on to step 5, we want to maintain and graduate. This is the simple habit that makes it all work. On payday, you want to do a 2-minute check. Is Tier A over $3,000? Move the excess funds to Tier B or C. Is it short? Top it up first. Then every quarter, do a 5-minute reset. Recalculate your 30-day number and adjust your transfers accordingly. Your 3-tier system is set up and automated. Now, let's talk about the most important part. What results should you realistically aim for? Let's set honest expectations. Your first one isn't beating the market. Your first win is reducing the erosion that comes from inflation. With headline CPI at about 3% per year, even modest halal returns can materially slow down the loss compared to leaving your savings at 0%. This is the key mindset shift. Frame the success of your savings as purity plus preservation, not as outperforming the latest hot stock, which is a completely different ballgame with its own set of rules. The challenge from inflation is real, but the temptation of riba isn't a solution for those committed to halal finance. Your primary action today is to adopt this 3-tier setup. Open the accounts, label them A, B, and C, and automate the transfer. A plan you actually follow beats a perfect plan you never start. At Wahed, we built the everyday Shariah account, or ESA as we call it internally, to be your on-ramp for this exact 3-tier system. We designed it specifically to seek competitive returns without riba, positioning it to be competitive with the nation's leading high-yield accounts without using interest. The ESA is built to make this plan practical. You can set up and label your goals such as Hajj 2027 or Tuition Spring 2026, keeping your money separate and visible. We've also created the product so that you could automate your recurring deposits right from payday. So your Tier B buffer and your goals fund themselves consistently without you having to check on them every 2 seconds. If you want to learn more, click the link in the description box below to see how the ESA could be the right fit for your halal savings plan.